And welcome to High Point High School in Wantage, New Jersey, as the Cutting Edge Sports Network presents the high school boys basketball game of the week. It's the first game of the Pretty in Pink doubleheader, a tradition started here back in 2010 by former High Point Wildcat girls basketball star Taylor Smith and her family, the great Smith family that came through here. And we're going to start off with a boys game of the doubleheader, and both games will be High Point against Vernon. Good afternoon. I'm Dan Cleary on a cold day here in Wantage, but we're going to have a lot of hot action here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. And we want to thank our sponsor, Jeff F. Snowplowing. Do snow different. For free estimates, give Jeff a call at 973-566-4006. And we also want to thank Matt Gizzi of Cutting Edge Sports Network being a sponsor here tonight for this great game, a great fundraiser. Over the last 12 years, they've raised about $300,000. They've given out close to $200,000. It's a great night of basketball. The girls' game will have more of the hoopla with the streamers and all that, but the boys, they're just excited to be here. So Vernon comes in with a record of 6-5, 4-3 in the Colonial Division under their coach Connor Healy in his third year, the former West Milford star. They coming off a win the other day. They beat North Warren within the Colonial Division. Sophomore Ben Jurwitz, the big guy, he had 14 points. Gabe Scotto, the sharpshooter, had 3 threes and a 9. And promising freshman Alex Fessel had 10, and as well as junior guard Elijah Gaskin had a good day for the Vikings. High Point, they come in a record of 4-8, 0-5 in that tough Freedom Division, which houses Jefferson and Newton and Wallkill Valley, so many good teams. But they're coming off a tough loss to Wallkill, 52-42. They're led by their longtime coach, Jesse Strell, former High Point star himself, 14th year. And they're led by their big guy, Brandon Kubiak, who averaging about 15 points a game, 7.3 boards. So a good season thus far with them. They're sitting at 4-8. These two teams met at the Lakeland tournament back in December, but High Point was without their point guard, Max Miller. Vernon was able to get the victory. Kubiak led the way with 22 for High Point, and Scotto had 13, and Nolan Mullally had 13, the big guy for the Vikings. Going to bring up my partner for today's game, and both games, Brian Thomas of Brian Thomas Basketball. Before we talk about this great event, let everyone know what's going on with Brian Thomas Basketball.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. Always a pleasure to be with you. You can check out BrianThomasBasketball.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook, and we do things all year round with first graders all the way up through high school and college kids, and we're very excited to help young kids to get better at the game of basketball in the Sussex and Morris County, northern New Jersey area. So, again, check out BrianThomasBasketball.com.
Brian, your thoughts on this game? You're familiar with a lot of these players. You're familiar with both coaches. Connor Healy, great young coach. Jesse Strell's done a great job. I can't believe he's been here 14 years. I remember when Jesse played.
Yeah.
Played for Charlie Kyer back in the 90s. And he's done every year. High Point, always tough and competitive. They graduated Brendan Franco, 1,000-point scorer from last year. We'll talk about High Point first. But Kubiak's the guy they work around. Max Miller going to be back for this game, a good ball handler and guard. Your thoughts on High Point?
Well, to your point, they're always a very well-coached team. Jesse and his staff know exactly what they're doing, and you can tell when you watch. They don't make a ton of mistakes, and I'm excited to see them continue to progress from there. They defend, they move the basketball, they're aggressive, so they're always fun to watch.
Their starting line will be number 3, Max Miller, the junior guard, 7.9 points per game. Number 10, number 12, Jaheim Dawson. He scores about 6 points a game, number 12. Aiden Mitchell, number 15, and Jonah Ripley, number 20, scores about 7 points a game. And then rounding out the starting 5, number 23, Brandon Kubiak, the big guy, 6'4", can also stretch out the defense. He's got 18 threes. As we said, 15.4 points per game, 7.3 rebounds. As we get the Vernon starting up, let's talk about the Vikings. They're 6-5, 4-3 in the Colonial. They have a win over Lenape Valley, who's atop of the Colonial Division. This Vernon team is athletic, and they shoot, and that's how Connor Healy played at West Milford for John Fink. He's brought that to Vernon. If they're on their game, they're a tough out.
Yeah, they're a young, athletic team that plays with a lot of energy, and they're the type of team where if you can catch lightning in a bottle, they can beat a lot of teams in this area. But the flip side of that is that they're young and can make mistakes at times. So, if they're on their game, they're a tough out. And you would imagine that they're going to come and rise to the occasion today. They got a young coach, like you mentioned, and who's trying to instill a culture and an environment here, and he's off to a great start to do just that.
When Vernon beat them in December, that was Vernon's first win over High Point in their last 5 outings. But every time these two teams play each other, it's always a battle. It's not like High Point was blowing them off the floor. The Vernon starting lineup will give you that. Elijah Gaskin, talented point guard, number 5. He scores 9.5 a game, about 2 assists a game. And then the freshman who's been real good, I'm excited to see him in person, number 14, Alex Fessel. 8.3 points per game. He had 6 3-pointers in a win over Sussex Tech, so
Yes.
he could stroke it. Nolan Mullally, veteran on this team, number 15. He's down low, 7 points a game. And then the big guy, Ben Jurowitz, 6 points, 5-point rebounds. And we're going to listen to the national anthem. And we'll round out that Vernon starting lineup. Jeremy Felix, very athletic, talented guy down low, can also attack the basket. He's number 35. He averages about 6 points, 4 rebounds a game. And the big guy, Ben Jurowitz, sophomore, he can step outside and shoot. He can take it inside. He scores 6 points and a game, 4.5 rebounds. He had a big game in the win over North Warren, a division win. Big Ben had 14, as we mentioned before. So it should be interesting. Should be an interesting game. We'll see. Vernon has been able to get out quick in some games, Brian, but Coach Connor Healy telling me they got to learn how to close it out. They were up against Kittatinny. They were up against a couple other teams, just weren't able to close it out. Yeah,
and that's a sign of a young team. You kind of have your ups and downs, not even just throughout a season, Dan, but throughout a game. Sometimes throughout a quarter.
Yep.
You know, you got the you play on so much emotion as a young player that sometimes it can be good and sometimes it can bite you in the butt. So, you know, that's just a part of the maturing process.
And, you know, it's a young team. It's a young coaching staff. The three guys there, Connor, Cody Hilbert, 1,000-point scorer at Wallkill Valley, Steve Myron, who played on those great teams for Matt Ferguson, won a couple of SCIL festival titles. They're going to get a run with the coaches.
Well, you know it's a young coaching staff when you don't see any gray hairs whatsoever.
Now, I got enough for all of them, Brian.
I got some to add to the mix.
If they want some, I'll lend them. We're underway. That's Max Miller, who didn't play the first time. Swings it over. Dawson up top. This is Kubiak. We'll see what kind of defense. They got Jeremy Felix on him right now. Felix, a terrific ball defender. And then you mentioned the High Point staff. Jesse Strelman, you got Billy Percy, does a great job. He was the head coach for a while. And then also you have Seamus Campbell, former Pope John player, has been a long-time administrator here. Nice move inside by Dawson. Can't get the fall. Jurowitz gets his first rebound. So this Vernon team will shoot. Fessel, a little runner, no good. Rebound pulled down by Kubiak using that height. And we're not going to see a lot of long sets with the Vikings, I don't think.
Yeah, they're trying to get quick hitters. They're trying to score quickly, whether on a fast break in transition or even in their half-court set.
Gaskin on Miller. That's a matchup to keep an eye on. Dawson, and it's stolen by the freshman Fessel. But High Point gets it right back.
That's one of Alex's specialties. He's a very good anticipatory player on defense in the passing lanes and on the ball.
Miller with the pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound nicely done. Ripping that down is Aiden Mitchell. Two familiar faces wearing the stripes today.
That's right.
John Fink and Ty Basket. We saw them a lot last year during the
COVID
COVID time. We were joking before the game and like, well, it's official. We're all four of us are here. Brian Thomas and Coach Fink and Basket. Inside, we'll have a whistle and a foul.
High Point starting out in more of a high 3-2 on defense, whereas Vernon's going straight man-to-man.
Coach, I watched and covered Connor Healy in high school at West Milford. There was not a better shooter I've seen.
Wow.
And then he played at William Patterson. Jurowitz inside the paint, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Mitchell. And on the run out, and an unfortunate turnover for the Wildcats. Still no score as we are almost 2 minutes into this first quarter. here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. I want to thank Matt Gizzi for getting this game going, and Chris Dexter, the outstanding athletic director here at High Point. I want to thank Dr. Scott Ripley, the superintendent. And Mullally can't get it to go. Also want to thank Principal John Talamay, who was on that 95 championship team with Chris Dexter, won the SCIL. Kevin Killeary at point guard, Matt Sweeney, Greg Field. Dawson with a nice take, goes glass, and we got a basket.
Dawson's a lefty, so Vernon's got to make sure they push him back to the right side because he's very efficient finishing with that left hand.
Felix with the finish, goes glass.
And Felix is not a lefty and still managed to finish with that left hand. Outstanding, beautiful finish right there. And this stand is where Vernon can give you a couple problems because you got Felix as a really good defender. You got Gaskin that can be a pest, and you got Fessel. So all their guards up top can really defend on this end.
And Big Ben down low is a shot blocker.
No doubt.
Just a sophomore. You got a sophomore and a freshman in that starting lineup for the Vikings. Good ball movement. Baseline jumper. Miller can't get it to go. We're going to have a foul going the other way. Picking up that foul will be Mitchell, number 15. Second foul on the Wildcats. First on Mitchell.
And a tricky set, Dan, here defensively by High Point with this three, kind of 1-2-2-3-2. When you have Kubiak on the top with his length, it can be difficult to see through him.
Gaskin with the runner, can't get it to go. Battle for the board. Comes down Dawson. The Wildcats bring it up. We're tied at 2. Kubiak with a little move, tacks the basket, blocked by Jurwitz. Good job by the sophomore not picking up the foul.
And really good help side defense by the Vernon Vikings on that play.
Big Ben coming off some injuries from football, just rounded into shape. He's got a great future. Great inbounds play, and finishing it is Mitchell. He's got 4. This High Point team very young as well. Kubiak is senior, a lot of sophomores and juniors. Fessel, the freshman for 3, can't get it to go, ripped down by Dawson. Yeah, like when your tallest guy can bring the ball up. That's how basketball, as we talked about, Brian, it's become positionless.
It really has. Yeah, you have guys like, you're looking at him right now. You have Kubiak, who used to be, back in the day, a post player, back to the basket, no less. And now, like you said, he's bringing the ball up and doing it as well, if not better sometimes than a guard would do.
And Miller loses the handle. Stay here with the Vikings. Nope. It was deflected. Good job by the officials talking to each other. Brian, it's this Pretty in Pink started in 2010. I've been fortunate enough to be at every one but one. 2020, I was unable to make it. Just a special night. Your thoughts, because you've done half of them with me.
Yeah, and I think I've been to every one but
you've
one
been
in 2020 as well.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, it's really a special day altogether. With all the games that they do and all the festivities, and you could see in the gym, it's just there's pink everywhere. The crowd comes in pink, the different uniforms for the kids. They do, these special photo shoots. I mean, it's a special thing to be a part of, not just for the High Point community, but the Sussex County community as a whole. Because we've had how many different teams as opponents?
Absolutely.
Possibly all of them, if we counted them up. It's got to be close.
John, Kittatinny.
Jefferson, I know, has played.
Jefferson, yep.
So, yeah,
Vernon.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot, and I think it's
the only one I don't think Sparta, I think it did too as well, one game.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Jurwitz with the drive, can't get the go, put back good, and he draws the foul.
That's where he really excels, is on the offensive glass. He's like a pogo stick. That was a little bit of Dennis Rodman action there, where he just doesn't stay on the ground very long before he goes back up for the offensive rebound and drops it in right off the glass.
Again, I want to thank Jeff F. Snowplowing. Do snow differently. For free estimate, give Jeff a call at 973. Jurwitz misses the free throw, 566-4066. On the offensive board, it's Jeremy Felix. And we'll have a turnover. Coming to you live from High Point on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. Matt Gizzi did a great job organizing this with Chris Dexter, the AD from High Point. Kubiak gives it up. Checking in for High Point, number 10, Matt Sabato. As we approach 3 minutes ago here in the period, Fessel with a good hustle. Jeremy Felix, he's got Gaskin. Up and under, back to Felix, and he's going to get call. Well, jump ball. Good call.
Good call, and that's a good 2-on-1 offense. You know, typically we'll see a pull-up 3 nowadays.
Right, exactly.
But it was nice to see a little bounce pass and a drop-off back.
So Miller will bring it up, coming off a very nice soccer season. Oh, look inside. And drawing the foul is Mitchell, who has all 4 of High Point's points. He's looking to add to that total right now.
That's what we talked about before at the top with, you know, Jesse Strell coaching this team. They do tend to have a lot of movement in their offense, which is the best way to play basketball is by moving and screening and cutting, and you could see it exemplified on that possession right there.
Rattles in the first. He's got 5. All 5 of High Point's points. Make it 6. Vikings bring it up. This is Gaskin.
High Point's going to sink back into a 2-3 now. Put Kubiak back down low, and that's what a luxury. You had him up top before on defense, and now you got him back down low as your big man.
He's athletic enough to do both. Fessel spots up for 3. No good. Rebound knocked away. Mitchell gets it. And coming back to get it, Gaskin. Freshman will cover, slow things down a bit.
Great defense from behind from Gaskin, not giving up on the play.
Jeremy Felix. Up and under, off the glass, and he'll get called for the charge.
Yep, and the correct call. Kubiak stepping in. Had his feet set. Great job by Kubiak.
So Felix picks up the foul, his first, team second. High Point with 4. As we have about 2:10 to go here in the opening quarter. First game of a doubleheader, Pretty in Pink Classic. The girls' game is the feature game. Fessel with the good hands. Freshman with the steal. Goes glass, draws the foul. Nice body control there by the freshman.
Absolutely. Going back to what you said before, Dan, you got to give the organizers a lot of credit for this entire event. It certainly takes, it's not something you throw together the last day. I mean, it takes a long time to organize everything and to get everything together. And probably even more so in these, you know, these last 2 years, what we've had to deal with. It's probably even more of kind of a chore to get the sponsors, to get everybody else, to get people in the gym, you know. So big time kudos to everyone that had a hand in organizing this.
Gaskin for 3 off the offensive rebound on the miss. And Vernon will take the 7-6 lead. Yeah, last year was kind of a last-second thing they put together. It was a great job by Chris Dexter. Had to step in as head coach mid-season last year for High Point, the AD. When he was here, he did okay. 351 wins, 3 section titles, 11 division titles, 2 HWS titles. Not a bad resume.
Not bad.
Going glass and knocking it home is Jonah Ripley. And we're tied at 8. This is Miller. Hannah Doyle of the girls team did a lot of the work, talking to Gary Ruban. It's going to be great to see him back on the sidelines. Retired from teaching, now coaching here at High Point. Taking over the girls program. In great hands, the girls program with Coach Ruban.
Yeah, what a great hire that was.
Coaches soccer, I think, at Hackettstown. Baskets here, and baseball at Jefferson.
So you're telling me you like sports?
Yeah, I think a little bit. He's a great coach. He had a great career at Wallkill Valley in many different sports. Gaskin gives it up. Jurowitz puts it on the deck, swings it out. Fessel left alone for 3, knocks it down.
That was started by Gaskin. Real good ball movement by the Vernon Vikings. Fessel for a knockdown 3.
11-8 our score. Got to imagine this is the pace High Point wants.
Yeah.
Vernon, if they had their druthers, they'd like to run up and down the floor.
Yeah, I think it's even a little bit slow for Vernon at this point.
Yep.
And I think that's part of what High Point is trying to do, is trying to sit in that zone and slow the game down and control the tempo. Whereas, like you were just saying, Vernon wants to kind of push it and get it going and get it moving a little bit.
Checking in for the Vikings, Gabe Scotto, their three-point specialist. They're going to look to get it to him here in their final possession. He's got unlimited. And taking a jumper there at the end of the quarter, James Tulik. So 1 quarter in the books, the first game of our doubleheader here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network Pretty in Pink Classic at High Point. Our score, Vernon 11, High Point 8. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
Cutting Edge Sports Network is the #1 high school sports site dedicated to bringing you the top local sports coverage in the New Jersey area. We are focused on curating live play-by-play broadcasting, game recaps, weekly news articles, and the best overall coverage. Everything you need to follow your local high school sports teams is right here in one place. The Cutting Edge Sports Network. Live, local, sports.
And we're back live here at High Point High School. Start the second quarter of our first game of the doubleheader, Pretty in Pink Classic. Vernon and High Point boys, both followed by the girls. Dan Cleary along with Brian Thomas here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. Want to thank Jeff F. Snowplowing. Do snow different. For free estimates, give Jeff a call at 973-566-4006. And they're calling for a lot of snow this winter, so Jeff, hopefully you get a lot of business. And Brian Thomas basketball. And BT, let us know what's going on with Brian Thomas basketball.
Yeah, you can check out BrianThomasBasketball.com. You can check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We put a lot of interesting content on there, and we got all kinds of stuff. We got our spring team tryouts, with all this winter snow like you were just talking about. It's good to think about the spring. So you can register for that also at BrianThomasBasketball.com.
Good defense by Sabato on that first possession defensively for the Wildcats, forcing the turnover. They trail by 3. Ripley, little jump stop, can't get to go. Jurowitz rips down the board. Vernon will look to push. So Scotto, their three-point guy. They got several guys. Every guy can shoot 2 threes, but if Scotto gets open, it's going.
And now High Point is into a straight man-to-man defense. Their third defense of the game.
Great move by Jurowitz, just can't finish.
And I like that out of High Point. You got to mix up your defenses. Some coaches stay in the same defense all game no matter what, and some coaches adjust based on what's happening in the game.
Jurowitz didn't finish that, but Coach Connor Hill loves seeing him attack the basket.
Yeah, the more aggressive he is, the better Vernon is, period, end of story.
So Tulik in there with Scotto, new Vernon players. Kubiak swings it over. Miller, pull-up jumper, knocks it down. Max Miller.
Good defensive possession by Vernon, but also very good ball movement and body movement by the High Point Wildcats, leading a Max Miller pull-up 15-footer.
They cut the lead, Vernon's lead to 1. This is Gaskin. And he's going to attack, go glass. Good rebound by Kubiak. Miller will bring it up. Kubiak, 15.5 points per game coming in. Felix doing a nice job on him. Long jumper, and it's good. Ripley knocks down the tray. And High Point will retake the lead, 13-11. Jurowitz. Double dribble.
Yeah, he picked it up a little bit too much. There was a pause there. Ty Baskin said, nope, not letting you get away with that one.
So have some substitutions. Matt Rogers will check in, number 10, one of the senior leaders on this team. Matt coming off a real solid soccer season for Joe Jones, also a good baseball player for Steve Myron. His dad, Russ, terrific athlete at Vernon, wrestler and football player. And there's Rogers right away making his presence known. Loses the handle, but Tulik will get to it. Fessel, the freshman, back in. Dad was a wrestler. I was teasing him, like, how do you get a basketball? His dad was a real good wrestler. His uncle Teddy was a region champ for Vernon at heavyweight. Mullally can't get the fall. Rebound pulled down by Ripley. Good look, and they held him. Dawson was trying to cut to the basket, and it all of a sudden the brakes went on.
Yeah, set play from High Point there that was run well and a good screen. Vernon had no choice but to foul on that one.
Vernon's third foul. High Point with 5. Picking up that foul is Nolan Mullally. Good job by Vernon on the inbounds defense. Last time they get burned. Kubiak and a held ball.
Let's see an additional version I would expect of this baseline out of bounds play here. They ran the other one a couple times, successful once, not successful another time, but you always got to be careful of underneath the basket and those backdoor screens underneath.
Kubiak from the long range. Offensive board, Ripley swings it back out to Miller. Can't get that to go, tipped out. We'll have a whistle and it will be on Kubiak.
But you got to like the energy of Kubiak, really trying to get, he's on the floor for steals, he's getting defensive rebounds, he's trying to be energetic and get some offensive rebounds to give his team some extra opportunities.
Ripley, that'd be Kubiak's second. He'll stay on the floor. Sabato back in, number 10. Scotto catch and shoot 3. If Vernon can get him heated up, they're in good shape. On the inbounds, Nolan Mullally. Can't get it to go, gets his own miss, swings it back out to Tulich. Rogers, back to Fessel.
Good patience by the Vernon Vikings.
There's Tulich, he's a veteran on this team. Nice spin move, and he gets it to go.
Beautiful spin move. Starting off to the right, spinning back to his left. Gorgeous.
Tulich with the nice move. We're tied at 13. In for High Point number 2, Jacob Junta. We'll have a whistle.
Is that the first bucket, Dan, for Vernon in this second quarter? They have 11 at the quarter?
Yep. First basket.
4 minutes in. Nice job by High Point.
Jeremy Felix is going to check back in. Rogers will go to the bench. 4 fouls on the Vikings. First foul on Fessel, the freshman. 6 fouls on High Point. On the inbounds, ball's loose. Junta gets to it. Back to Kubiak. Scotto on Dawson. Back out to Max Miller. Again, Coach, we have to mention, this is the tempo I think High Point wants.
Absolutely. Slow, methodical, disciplined, good shots.
Junta with a good one, just rattles out. Mullally with the rebound. Fessel will bring it up.
And Jacob can hit that shot. That's a good shot for High Point.
This is Fessel, the freshman. Go, good look inside. Mullally rolls to the basket.
Good vision by Alex Fessel. And a nice finish.
Vernon goes back up by 2, 15-13.
It's also the delivery. You know, you could see something but not deliver that pass. You got to make sure both happen.
Junta sends it over. Dawson. And knocked out by the Vikings. High Point will inbound.
Both teams defending with a lot of energy this afternoon.
Well, it's a big crowd here today for a 3:15 start on a Saturday, but it's a special day. Girls game will follow. Coach Jesse Shrell said they weren't sure they were going to do a boys-girls doubleheader, and the boys team said, Coach, we want to be involved in this.
That's great.
Brandon Kubiak led the charge, so hats off to Brandon. And again, hats off to Hannah Doyle. Nice look inside. Dawson draws the foul.
Great decision by Kubiak. He thought he might have had an open 15-foot elbow jump shot, but saw his teammate Dawson wide open underneath. And good finish by Dawson. That was not a simple one.
No, it was not. Ties it at 15 with 2:41 to go. And he'll complete the three-point play. 16-15 our score. Jesse Strell, as you said, played for Charlie Kyer in the 90s. Took over for Bill Percy when Bill became the football coach here at High Point for a while. And Jesse's done a great job at this program.
The 90s, man, that's a long time ago.
Really, is it? Connor Healy doesn't like that call, neither does Cody Hilbert.
And you got to love the officials that will come over and explain it to the coaches instead of just walking away.
Right.
That open communication just allows for a much smoother game on all sides.
We've got two good ones tonight. We'll have a whistle, and we'll be even up at 6 apiece. That'll be on Felix. Ripley checks back in for High Point. So next foul on either team will put the opposing team in the bonus. Ripley up top with Mullally on him, looking for a possible screen to take Mullally to the basket. Kubiak swings it out. Junta thought about it. Nice move by Junta, little runner, can't get the go. Jurowitz skies for the board.
Beautiful move, just couldn't finish.
Well, my old buddy Mike Castro used to say, in those situations, the operation was a success, but the patient died.
That's right.
Rebound ripped down by Mitchell.
That's the new Charles Barkley go-to nowadays.
Oh, Castley was saying that 30 years ago.
Yeah. There's that same set from High Point. Multiple screens.
Ripley thought about it. Kubiak trying to set up down low. Felix on him.
Felix doing a nice job post defense inside.
Trying to give Ripley a lane there, and good defense by the Vikings to force the offensive foul.
We've seen a number of very solid defensive possessions from Vernon here this afternoon. Their communication is good. They're fighting through screens. They're talking through it. If they can continue to build on this defensive end, it opens up everything else for them offensively as well.
The foul should be on Junta, number 2, and 7 on High Point. So they got it mixed match there. We go. We got it straightened out on the scoreboard. Good job. Checking in for the Vikings, number 21, Ryan McLaughlin. He saw a lot of time last year. Him and DJ Springstead at the guards. DJ graduated. Little runner by Fessel, can't get the go. Rebound pulled down by Kubiak. A couple years back, Vernon had a terrific player, Andre Pierce.
Yes.
All division.
Andre was an incredible scorer in every aspect.
Yes, he was. 34 seconds to go here in the quarter.
Nice defense by Gaskin.
16-15, High Point looking to take a bigger lead into the break. 20 seconds to go. Kubiak swings it over. Miller left alone, gets his feet squared. He knocks down the 3.
Good discipline by High Point. Beautiful shot. Follow through in the air.
High Point up 19-15. McLaughlin for 3. Can't get it to go. 6 seconds to go. Plenty of time for High Point to get a shot off.
Yep, you got to catch it on the run with momentum and then just look to get downhill and attack the basket right away. Smart move by Vernon, applying some pressure here.
Miller, plenty of time. And he draws an offensive foul call. Wow.
He got him with that left arm, pushing off, going into him. We got 2.8. Let's see what Vernon can cook up here with the final second shot.
Miller with the foul. Coach Jesse Strell doesn't agree with that.
That could be a big turnaround because that the ball went in the basket too.
McLaughlin, good if it goes. And it's short. So 1 half in the books here in the first game of the doubleheader. Pretty and Pink Classic here at High Point. It's the boys' game, and High Point has a 19-15 lead here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. We'll step aside real quick. We'll come back. We'll have a little interview with Matt Gizzi, the owner of Cutting Edge Sports Network, right after this.
Cutting Edge Sports Network is the #1 high school sports site dedicated to bringing you the top local sports coverage in the New Jersey area. We are focused on curating live play-by-play broadcasting, game recaps, weekly news articles, and the best overall coverage. Everything you need to follow your local high school sports teams is right here in one place. The Cutting Edge Sports Network. Live, local.
Ready? And we're back here, halftime of the boys' game, the doubleheader Pretty in Pink Classic. And it's High Point with a 1950 lead over Vernon. I'm Dan Cleary here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. Going to bring in the owner and president of the Cutting Edge Sports Network, my old buddy Matt Gizzi. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dan. I'm glad to be here.
So, Matt, tell everyone what the Cutting Edge Sports Network it is. You've been a guy that's been involved in local sports up here for a long time. I first met you years ago at Muggs Media. What is the Cutting Edge Sports Network, and what should people look for?
So it's pretty much a brand new platform, Dan. Sussex County we have dedicated team pages for each team. So kind of like for let's say Vernon basketball here, we got their stats, the rosters, the schedule all up on our platform for all different kinds of sports. So, and not only that, we also have weekly news articles and blogs and game recaps we do. And of course, we do live game coverage as well.
So obviously you've been around Sussex County. You're going to concentrate on that, but you hope to make this evolve.
Absolutely, and we hope to branch out to all different counties, not just Sussex, but Morris, Essex, Passaic County, pretty much New Jersey statewide down the line.
And talk about how you got involved with the Pretty in Pink Classic. You and Chris Dexter had some meetings, and it's a great that this is going to be shown.
Absolutely. So we talked, and I end up raising funding through sponsorships to sponsor the games and as such. And we wanted to thank Jeff Snowplowing for being our main sponsor for this broadcast. So, but yeah, it's a great way, brand new platform. I think it's going to be a really, really good start.
Hey, people, what's the website address, and how can people get a hold of you if they want to maybe become a sponsor?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, they can go to www.cesnetwork.net, and they can message me at info@cessnetwork.net.
All right, Matt. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Should be exciting. Any coverage of high school kids is a good thing. And folks, it's not just limited to high school. They'll have high school pages, but the network will do youth games and all that.
Professional.
Yep, whatever you need, send an email. Matt's been doing this for a long time, folks. So if you want to get on board on the ground floor, send an email to info@csnetwork.net. Matt, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, Dan.
And folks, we'll be back with the start of the third quarter in a few minutes.
Cutting Edge Sports Network is the #1 high school sports site dedicated to bringing you the top local sports coverage in the New Jersey area. We are focused on curating live play-by-play broadcasting, game recaps, weekly news articles, and the best overall coverage. Everything you need to follow your local high school sports teams is right here in one place. The Cutting Edge Sports Network. Live.
And we're back here at High Point High School, live on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. Hey, we want to thank Jeff F. Snowplowing. Dude's Snow Different. A lot of snow the last few weeks. Jeff's the guy to call, 973-566-4006. And Brian Thomas Basketball. We'll talk to Brian in a second. Halftime, 19-15 as we start the third quarter. And High Point finished strong in that second quarter. They were down 15-13. And they were able to get a three-pointer from Max Miller to make it 19-15 after Jaheim Dawson had to completed the traditional three-point play. And that's where we stand. Pretty even scoring throughout. No one really standing out, jumping out. But it's been a well-played, even-played game. Going to bring in Brian Thomas as Mullally goes strong and Vernon gets a basket. Brian, what's up with the BT Hoops?
Well, we got a lot of great stuff going on this winter. We got workouts every Sunday for all ages. We got a President's Day shooting clinic coming up in February, which we have every single year. And, of course, we got our spring team tryouts that are coming up actually next week, which we're very excited about. It's always a big time of year for us. So you can check out BrianThomasBasketball.com and check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well.
There you go. You got it all covered on the social media platforms. I just got on MySpace, Brian. Is that very popular?
Yeah, no, that's the new one. That's just the kids really love that one nowadays.
Some guy named Tom is my friend.
That's right. You just got one? That's it?
That's it. I'm looking to build my base. 19-17, our score. Gaskin with the ball, pressure on Miller, hit the big three to end the first half. Ripley swings it over to Kubiak. That's been a good battle, Kubiak and Felix.
Very much so.
Dawson had a strong first half. They work it inside. And going up strong, can't get the finish. Kubiak, he draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
And if you're Vernon, you got to make sure that you're putting a body on Kubiak with his length, his athleticism, and his offensive energy. He's always we've seen it a couple times tonight already, Dan, where he's trying to sneak in and get some quick offensive rebounds. So if you're Vernon, if you're Felix, and even the other guys, you got to find his body and attach to it.
Mullally will pick up the foul, his second team's first. Knocks down both. The Wildcats take the 4-point lead. Again, these two teams met down at the Lakeland tournament in December, but Max Miller was not available. And Vernon picked up the victory, 59-38. So you can tell Miller's presence big time for the Wildcats. Good look by Gaskin. Jurowitz loses the handle, gives the bounce to Fessel. Good passing here. Mullally, baseline jumper, can't get it to go. Kubiak skies for the board. So, Coach, what was your thoughts on the first half?
I thought it was a mostly well-played first half. You know, it was a battle of tempos, as you talked about, Dan. You know, Vernon's really trying to get up and down a little bit, and High Point is trying to slow it down and kind of drag it out a little. And I think High Point won that tempo battle for the most part. I mean, if you just look at the score, it's a fairly low-scoring game. But it's not a poorly played game.
No,
both teams are really,
absolutely,
really working hard defensively, and that's been the biggest presence for both teams so far.
Coach Connor Healy from Vernon. Fessel for three, can't get it to go, was telling me in their loss to Kittatinny, he lost 45-37. I said to the kids, I'll take 45 points defensively every night.
Yeah.
We have to score more than 37, guys.
No question. Yeah, especially in today's game where they're shooting more threes and the tempo can be a little bit faster at times. 45 points, you know, you're going to win most games unless you score 37.
This is true.
In which case you're not.
He hit it on the head. Gaskin will swing it over to Felix. He puts it on the floor. Jurowitz. Big guy, tries to lay it in, can't get it to go.
Good idea. Like the aggressiveness, trying to get to the basket, little up and under, just couldn't get it to drop.
And I didn't see the game in December, but obviously Max Miller's presence is huge for High Point.
No doubt about it. On both ends of the floor.
Yep. Nice soccer player as well. Good athlete.
Vernon or High Point going into the flex.
Kubiak with the drive, rebound. Good job by Mullally on defense. Felix with the board. Swings it over to Jurowitz. Big bend. And we'll stay here.
A nice strip alleviates an easy basket by Vernon.
Again, we mentioned Jurowitz battling some injuries, some health issues during football. Just rounding into shape now. On the inbound, Jurowitz just lays it in.
Gorgeous play call by Coach Healy and run to perfection by his players.
21-19. You know what I love about that? Ben was not balanced, so why try to dunk it?
That's
Just
right.
put it in. Get the points. You're down.
That's the problem that you typically had, right? Is just, do I dunk it or do I not?
Well, you talking about my donuts and my coffee?
That's right. Well, that's not a problem. You dunk those,
I
right?
dunk those all the time. I do 360s. Gaskin for 3. Good box out there by Dawson. Remains 21-19. Kubiak, a little crossover. And he gets to the go. Nice move by the big man.
And I like that. Felix picked him up about three-quarter court, and Kubiak took on the challenge.
Mullally for 3, knocks it down.
Now we're starting to see a little bit more offense, Daniel.
23-22 should be our score.
Right. And you're right. We are seeing a nice little one-on-one battle with Kubiak and with Felix.
We'll have another foul. Yeah, I have 23-22.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
Scoreboard has 19.
Yeah, they're looking to fix that right now. Good job
Yep.
by the officials. As always, Dan Cleary ahead of everybody else.
So he hit the 3. I got 23-22 High Point. And now they have it on 23-20. Tulik will check back in, 24-20. Well, if the official scorer is going to make it 24-20, I guess we got to go with that, Brian.
I guess you're right.
All right. Knocks down both, 25-20. A turnover there. I guess that could really come back to haunt Vernon.
Agree.
Miller will come back out to Dawson. Dawson off the screen. Kubiak, top of the key for 3. Can't get the go. Oh, nice rebound by Mitchell. He had a real active first quarter. Out to Ripley, in and out. Good job on the offensive boards, and laying it in is Mitchell.
Got to love the activity offensively by High Point. They're feeling a little surge from their vocal crowd here as well.
27-20 our score, but that's the official score. Unless they change things at halftime between quarters, that's going to be our score. That 3 by Mullally, they had 19. 19 and 3 is 22, correct? And Mullally with another basket.
I mean, math's not my specialty, but if I break out my phone, just give me a minute to figure that out. But I think that's correct.
I was going to take off my shoes and count. 5-point game. Kubiak loses the handle. Miller gets to the loose ball. Way downtown. Oh, he took that from Sussex Borough.
That's right.
Gaskin, Fessels was going to step into it. Good look over. Big Ben with the drive. Scoop shot. Can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Dawson. As you said, Brian, offense getting a little bit picked up here. At least the pace.
Yeah, the pace for sure. And we talked about that. You would think it would favor Vernon, but so far it's favoring High Point.
Dawson dumps into Kubiak, showing all of his game here. Oh, good steal by Fessel. Keeps control. The freshman, he's going to take it and draw the foul.
Nice job by Alex, not just defensively, but making sure his shot didn't get blocked. Got it up and over the outstretched arm of Dawson to have a potential three-point play.
Dawson picks up his 3rd foul. First of the second half for the Wildcats. Vernon with 2. Fessel rattles out the first. Gabe Scotto will check in number 3 for Vernon, and checking back in for High Point number 10, Sabato. And he'll rattle in the second. 27-23. Miller. Kubiak, a little unselfish there. He may have, if he'd taken that, he might have drawn a foul.
I agree with you.
But you got to like the thought. Mullally playing very well for the Vikings. This is Tulik.
Nice.
Oh, the reverse lay-in. Nice job by James Tulik.
Controlled, crafty, highly skilled finish with that right hand up and under.
He's a veteran. 27-25, our score. Coach Hilly plays a lot of guys, too.
He does.
And a timeout going to be called by Jesse Strell from High Point with 1:15 to go, and they're holding a 2-point lead. Want to thank Jeff F. Snowplowing. Do snow different. Free estimates, 973-566-4006. And we want to thank Matt Gizzi of the Cutting Edge Sports Network. And again, want to thank the administration here at High Point for having us. Superintendent Dr. Scott Ripley, he's here. Principal John Talamay, and Athletic Director Chris Dexter. It's just a wonderful, wonderful outing. And the Smith family, Tommy Smith and his wife Nancy and his daughters Taylor, Darby, and Maddie, driving forces behind this game. Taylor started this whole event her senior year after seeing a game between UConn and Tennessee women. And they wanted to start a fundraiser for cancer awareness. Their Aunt Cecilia passed away, Parisi, whose husband was a AD here for a while, John Parisi. And they got involved with this, and it's just been a wonderful event. But all the bells and whistles will be during the girls' game.
Yeah, you talk about the quintessential Sussex County basketball family. Look no further than the Smiths.
Tommy was a terrific basketball player at Vernon. Came off the bench when they won the league title in '79. Blocked by Fessel. And Nancy was a terrific athlete at Vernon, field hockey player. Scotto left alone. That's his range. In and out. I think his range is half-court stripe.
Yeah, you might be right.
45 seconds to go. 2-point ball game. High Point with a 27-25 lead. I'll look inside. Fessel's there.
Great
On
pass.
the bounce, Tulik, because he finished and he draws the foul.
Great job by Fessel defensively anticipating that pass on the flex from High Point, and then the correct decision on the bounce pass.
That would be on Mitchell, his second, team second. And we have 31 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Tulik looking to tie it up for the Vikes with 2 freebies. Back rims it. Coming off the bench, James has done a very nice job tonight. Couple of nice layups, draws a foul.
Yeah, he's had very impactful minutes.
1 or 2. 1-point game, 27-26. 30 seconds to go. Vernon will come out a little pressure defense.
I like it, mixing it up.
Ripley gets it over. Sabato back out to Kubiak. 18 seconds, plenty of time for the Wildcats. Ripley thought about it, and he'll do it. In and out. Rebound pulled down by Sabato. Good job there. Offensive boards. 2 seconds. Miller. And it goes in right before the buzzer. He does it in the first quarter and now this time. Great job by Max Miller with the 3 for a High Point. So we'll go into the fourth quarter with High Point with a 4-point lead, 30-26. Here live on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Cutting Edge Sports Network is the #1 high school sports site dedicated to bringing you the top local sports coverage in the New Jersey area. We are focused on curating live play-by-play broadcasting, game recaps, weekly news articles, and the best overall coverage. Everything you need to follow your local high school sports teams is right here in one place. The Cutting Edge Sports Network. Live, local, sports.
And we're back here at High Point. First game of the double dip here on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. Pretty in Pink Classic. And High Point with a 30-26 lead after Max Miller does it again. He hit a 3 to end the second quarter. He hits a 3 to end the third quarter. And they have a 4-point advantage.
Got that clutch gene in him.
Yep. He's got some Vernon ties. His uncle is Scott Berge, longtime retired athletic director and baseball coach in Vernon, enjoying his retirement. Fessel. Tulik
Nice.
can't get it to go.
He's been real aggressive attacking the basket all day today.
He certainly has. Along with Brian Thomas is Dan Cleary. Brian, let everyone know about BT Basketball. What's going on?
Yeah, go ahead and check out BrianThomasBasketball.com. Our spring teams, we have tryouts coming up in early February as Dawson gets the and one potential opportunity. You can go to BrianThomasBasketball.com. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well. We got a bunch of different stuff on all of those different platforms. Check it out.
Tulik will pick up the foul. Vernon's third, his second, excuse me. High Point with 2 fouls.
Feels like every time that Vernon feels like they're going to take control of this game, High Point makes a big play and puts it back to, 4 or 5 points and feels like they're in control once again.
Up by 7 now. But the way Vernon can shoot threes, they can get back in a hurry. Mullally.
Good D.
Real nice by Kubiak. And timeout called by Connor. Really good job there by Coach Healy. Things were getting a little bit out of control there. And 30-second timeout called by Healy. Hey, we want to thank Jeff F. Snowplowing. Do Snow Different for free estimates, 973-566-4006. This winter, the last couple of weeks, winter has made its arrival in Sussex County. So calling for more snow next week. So give Jeff a call, give you that free estimate. Don't break your back shoveling. Let Jeff do all the hard work for you. So good job here by High Point. So they were coming off a 10-point loss to Wallkill Valley within the Freedom Division. But that Freedom Division, I don't think anyone's beaten Jefferson.
I agree.
It could happen, but
yeah, when they're on all cylinders, they're tough to beat.
Mullally swings it over to Fessel.
But like everybody nowadays, it's kind of tough to be on all cylinders with stoppages and starts.
Yeah, that's right. One phone call.
It can be a little bit tricky. Nice.
Great look to Tulik. Can't get it to go. This is Miller.
Nice cross.
And can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Mullally.
God, I love seeing that. The quick crossover into the pull-up 16-footer. It's a
dying art.
It's a beautiful thing.
I agree with you 100%.
Because it's still available all the time.
No doubt.
All the time.
No doubt.
But you get kids want to shoot the threes and obviously attack the basket. And if they're good shots, I'm all for it. But you're literally leaving points on the table if you're not developing that quick pull-up jump shot.
Tulik, the foul line elbow jumper, no good.
Because especially now, defenses don't expect it. So they're backing up on their heels as you attack. And if you develop the proper footwork for it, it's easy money.
And on the offensive board, fouled Dawson with the rebound. Hey, you know what? You tell kids, you know what? There's only one Steph Curry.
Correct. And people don't understand. Like, if you're looking at this court right now, no lie, Steph Curry in an NBA game shoots from the half-court line that you're looking at right now.
Right.
With ease and, with a really good percentage. There's no one else in the world that can do that.
Exactly. But then everyone's falling in love with the three-point shot.
Right.
Foul on Vernon's Tulik, his third, team's fourth. High Point with 2. Dawson, and he'll lose the handle. Vernon will get it back.
Good defensive possession there by Vernon. But they got to be careful here. They're down 7 with 5:40 left. They don't want to get down 9, 10 under 3. That's going to be a major problem. So these next 3 or 4 possessions could determine the outcome of this game.
Well, they can get Scotto on track from beyond the arc. And turnover there.
They're going to have to really buckle down and get a couple of stops in a row. String together a few baskets, get this back to 3 or 4 points, and make sure they have a chance under 2 minutes.
Kubiak swings it over. Ripley for 3. Can't get it to go. Great rebound by Junta and the putback.
Great job by
Little
Jacob.
guys.
Yeah.
Little guys can rebound.
You got to love to see that. He used his body well, went up after it, strong finish.
Just over 5 minutes to go. Three-pointer knocked down by Scotto. Timeout by Vernon.
Boy, they needed that one in a big, big way.
Makes it 35-29. There we go. We got it on the scoreboard. And again, we mentioned before, even though High Point has the lead, we take a look at the High Point huddle. Seamus Campbell talking to the kids with Jesse Strell and Billy Percy. Three great coaches. The way Vernon shoots the three, they're not out of it. But they need to stop it on the defensive end.
Correct. And they haven't exactly been lights out from the three-point line today. We know they can catch fire. But for sure, they got to make sure they're getting stops, and they got to make sure they're getting great shots on the offensive end. And the biggest thing, like we saw in the last possession, they got to make sure they take care of the basketball. Turnovers are always killer, but they're even more killer under 5 minutes in a tight game.
Absolutely. There's a look at the Vernon huddle. Coach Connor Healy, enthusiastic young coach. It just seems like he was just playing. I interviewed him back in the day when he played for West Milford and Coach Fink. Part of the John Fink coaching tree. James McDermott, the girls' coach at Jefferson.
That's right. They're having a nice season once again over there at Jefferson.
I think they're a candidate to be a Final Four team at that Morris County tournament.
They took a tough loss today to Wayne Valley, but they've been playing well. I think that's only their third loss of the year so far.
All right, out of the timeout, Vernon comes out with a little three-quarter court pressure.
Yep, little 1-2-2, looking to trap. Nice shot by High Point.
I like the patience there.
Yes.
Miller, with Jurowitz on him, he might try to attack the basket. We'll have a foul on the Vikings. Fifth foul on Vernon. And it'll be on Scotto, his first. 4:42 to go here in the fourth quarter. High Point looking to avenge a loss to Vernon at the Lakeland tournament. Gaskin trying to get the steal. He does. Back to Scotto, left alone. He knocks it down. That's what he does.
Great job by Gaskin creating all of that. Not just the steal, but the assist for Scotto.
Back to a three-point game. Scotto knocking down back-to-back threes. Junta had that big offensive putback earlier.
He did.
Miller puts it on the deck. Junta thought about it. He walked. We'll have a substitution. Checking back in is Mitchell playing with the three fouls. So Vernon has a chance to tie it up with another three ball. They got Ripley on Scotto now. To Jurowitz. Ben puts it on the floor. Spin move. Drops it in.
Nice spin move and a little floater. Great job by Ben on that play.
And back to a one-point game. Vernon makes it a 35-34 game, 7-0 run for the Vikings.
And now it's High Point's turn to make sure that they're getting a great shot and they're not turning the basketball over. Momentum now clearly in the favor of Vernon Vikings.
And that'll be Walken. So Vernon now has a chance to take the lead with a bucket with 3:32 to go. Now we talked about Vernon's proficiency from behind the arc, especially with Gabe Scotto out there, and he's provided it.
Nice adjustment on the fly by Coach Strell. Getting Kubiak to guard the big guy.
Scotto can't get the go. Good box out by Mullally. Gaskin. And he'll bring it back out. Vernon will reset.
Yep, you're in no rush. Good patience.
Jurowitz. Back over to Gaskin. Mullally. Big Ben Jurowitz. And he traveled before the turnover. Sabato and Miller will come back in for a High Point as they hold the 1-point lead with 2:57 to go here in the fourth quarter. First game of the doubleheader.
Vernon's going full court man-to-man press now. You got Scotto on Kubiak. He's seen a lot of different faces tonight.
Swings it out. Down low. And Ripley will settle things down. Ripley gets caught. In turnover, Big Ben gets to it. And he'll get it to the freshman Fessel. These guys are going to be playing each other this year and next year and the year after that. A lot of youngsters out there. Got to love it. Vernon down by 1.
It's always good to see some fresh young blood out here.
No doubt. Scotto thought about it. Back to Jurowitz. Jurowitz can hit threes. He's going to take it instead, and he gets it to go in. What a move by Big Ben.
And sneaky with that right hand on that left side, right underneath the outstretched arm of Brandon Kubiak.
Jurowitz, the sophomore, lays it in 36-35. Vernon retakes the lead after trailing. Kubiak tries to answer. And will the foul be on Scotto or will it be on Jurowitz? It's on Jurowitz. High Point was up 35-26.
Right.
Vernon went on a 10-0 run. Jurowitz picks up the foul, 6th on Vernon, 2nd on Ben. With 1:54 to go, next foul on the Vikings. Be bonus for the Wildcats. High Point with only 2 fouls.
Yeah, now is where free throws and turnovers become really magnified on both sides of the basketball.
Missing both. Vernon will get the rebound. Bounces to Fessel. And Elijah Gasker will bring it up. Vernon with the 1-point lead, 1:45 to go and running. A little overplay by Kubiak. Big Ben, he sees the lane. He's going to lay it in. He can't get it to go.
Beautiful move, and he was just right there and spun right out.
Kubiak, the big guy with the answer. No basket on the floor, so it'll be a 1-and-1.
I think that's the right call.
It'll be on Scotto. His second team 7th, so Kubiak will go to the line for the 1-and-1. Terrific move by Kubiak after Jurowitz had a great move. They just didn't fall.
Yeah, they're both doing a really good job of using their length out on the perimeter and typically only need about 1 dribble to get to the basket.
And he'll hit the big front end. That's a senior. He's been kept well below his average tonight. But he hits the big free throws and gives High Point the lead by 1, 37-26. 37-36, excuse me. 1:25 to go. A lifetime in basketball. Scotto, catch and shoot. Can't get it to go. Not a bad shot. That's his game.
Yeah, you're not kidding. That was deep.
Look at Kubiak bringing up the ball now with the lead.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Ripley. Fessel on him. Dawson swings it over. Kubiak. Scotto on him. And a timeout called by High Point. With 52 seconds to go. Hey, want to thank Jeff F. Snow Plowing. Do snow differently. Free estimates 973-566-4006. And I want to thank my partner, Brian Thomas, of Brian Thomas Basketball. All right, Coach, we're looking at the High Point huddle. What's Jesse Strell saying? What do you think?
Well, you're in no rush, first of all. You got to make sure you're taking care of the basketball. You certainly don't want to have a silly turnover, and you don't want to have a terrible shot. You're up by 1. You're under a minute. I mean, you know, technically you don't need to shoot the basketball. You know that Vernon's probably going to come out in a man and maybe possibly some sort of trapping as well. So you got to make sure that your passes are tough and strong. You're not just throwing the ball, little lollipops up in the air. You got to be triple threat, not careless with the basketball. It sounds like a lot, but these are all pretty basic and fundamental things.
Right.
And if you do that, you're going to either get a wide open shot, or you're going to end up on the foul line, and it's both to your advantage.
And we're looking at the Vernon huddle. Coach Connor Healy talking to his crew. We knew this was going to be a good one today, and they have not disappointed.
Yeah, the good news for Vernon right now is that they are in the bonus. So when they do commit that next foul, they don't have to waste 15, 20 seconds fouling. Whereas High Point only has 2, so that could come back to
haunt them, right?
To bite them
exactly.
if Vernon does take the lead.
All right, High Point has the ball and the lead. 52 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. First game of our doubleheader, Pretty and Pink Classic at High Point. Vernon boys, High Point boys, and we'll have the Vernon girls and the High Point girls in the big showcase game at 5. So they'll spread the floor.
If you're Vernon, you got to get a little closer, and you got to deny that next pass. You can't allow for these passes to just come right through, because as you can tell, High Point is not looking to actively score. They got to get higher. Yep, there we go. So what they got to do a little bit differently, Dan, is that they just wasted about, 15, 20 seconds because they're not close enough. And these are young kids because the coaches are yelling at them to do it, but the kids don't have the experience. You got to deny that first pass, and ball pressure's got to be all the way up.
So we'll be a 1-on-1. Dawson will go to the line. Ben Jurowitz picking up his 3rd foul, 8th team. So Dawson, big free throws here with 31 seconds to go. And he'll rattle in the first. Good job.
Going back to that previous possession, I've always been a big fan of if you know you're going to have to foul, go for a steal first. Don't just take a careless foul just because.
Right.
Try to get that steal. You
Because
might
they're
get
not gonna
away with
score.
one.
Exactly
you
right.
might get away with
This
one.
is it. Tap back out, and High Point gets the offensive board, and
Right
they're going to
call.
call over and back.
Although they're going to talk about this because there was no possession established by either team because it was a tip. That's why they're going to talk about it. So they may change it, and they are going to change that call.
Good job by the officials. Vernon won't be happy, but that's
Right.
a good job by them talking it over.
Yep, that's the right call.
All right, so Vernon's got a foul immediately here with 28 seconds to go, or as you said, go for the foul.
I think you got enough time where
They're
you
only
can,
down 2.
Yeah, you can deny. You can try to get a 5-second call, and then you could trap right away, right here. Yep.
Timeout call by Jesse Strell. What, about 4.9 left in the 5 down?
That's right. That was tight. That was tight.
So High Point will call the timeout. We look at the huddle here. So I'm sure Coach Strell's going to draw something out. That's a tough place to inbound
Yeah,
right
and
there.
that's what you want if you're Vernon.
Absolutely.
You want them on the verge of a 5-second call, so now they had to burn a timeout. And even if they got that ball in, there was a great opportunity to trap because they were on the sidelines. What you don't want if you're Vernon is for High Point to get it to the middle of the floor where it's more open space where they can kill some more time. So let's see if Vernon, this young team, has learned from their mistakes and won't let so much time go off the clock, especially without trying to get a steal.
Vernon's next game, they're going to host Morris Tech Tuesday at 4. High Point will go out of the division and play Kittatinny. That's always a good
Nice.
battle no matter what
Yeah.
sport. All right, here we go. Ripley looking to inbound. He'll get it into Miller. And Gaskin gives up the foul.
Yeah, and again, I know you have to foul, but instead of making it so obvious where there's no question a foul is going to be called, gamble. Try to get a steal. And if you don't get the steal, you still get the foul at the same time.
Foul will be first on Gaskin, so we're still in a 1-on-1. Max Miller will go to the line. Still a ton of time left, 26 seconds. Miller misses and led violation, so Vernon will get it back. Actually, a foul will be on Mitchell, the foul. I believe he put up 15.
It was a good box out by Vernon.
So that'd be the 3rd foul on the Wildcats.
You got a double high pick and roll.
Scotto. Gaskin. Oh, a turnover. And the foul. Mitchell's there. He's going to go to the line, and that will be 2. We're in the double bonus.
And as we talked about a couple minutes ago, free throws and turnovers under 5 minutes are magnified. And you figure if High Point can hit their free throws, they should be walking out of here with a win, but it's not over yet.
No, he's got to hit at least 1 to keep it a tie game possibly, or 2 to take the lead,
There
but
you
now he's
go.
got to go by 1.
You got to hit this one.
Got to hit this one to make it a 1 possession and force Vernon to take a 3.
Yep. I would imagine
13 seconds to go, and he does hit it.
Imagine Vernon's going to call a timeout, or are they going to let it ride?
Timeout called by Connor Healy with 11 seconds to go. So 1 or 2 of the line gives them a 3-point advantage.
So do you do a little pin down for Scotto? Do you do a down screen for Alex Fessel? You got options here.
No doubt, because Vernon's got kids can shoot threes.
Yeah. But certainly you're at the point now. What are we, 11 seconds, Dan?
11 seconds. Yep.
You're at the point now where you probably do need a 3. I mean, you can get a quick 2, but a quick 2, you'd have to get it within 3 or 4 seconds. So unless you are guaranteed if there's some sort of defensive lapse from High Point, you can get a quick layup, then you still take it. Obviously, you could then you foul immediately there, and you still have 6 or 7 seconds left. But if you can't, then no doubt you're looking for the 3. And if you miss, you still have an opportunity for an offensive rebound. So if you're High Point here, you got to switch everything out top, because a 2 doesn't bother you. And then you got to make sure you box out and secure the rebound and call it an afternoon.
Well, knowing the DNA of Coach Healy, they're going to be looking for a 3.
Yeah.
I think they would part the Red Seas, High Point, if they went for a 2. They just let him go.
Yeah.
All right. 11 seconds to go. Vernon trails by 3. Mullally will inbound across from us.
If you're High Point, you got to talk on screens. I would imagine they're probably going to switch on some of these screens, but you got to be vocal here.
Mitchell on the ball. They'll swing it over. Scotto left alone for 3. Back rims it. Rebound pulled down by Dawson. Still a ton of time, 6 seconds, but wow. Scotto was left wide open.
And a great play call draw up by the Vernon coaching staff. They had Alex Fessel hustling right to the ball as a decoy, and a great pass to Scotto all the way across court, who had the look, just rimmed out.
All right, Dawson gets 2 free throws, 10th foul on the Vikings, double bonus. And this is the first. All right, so Vernon will still have possibly a chance if he doesn't hit this one. Dawson. And he misses both. Vernon calls the timeout. 5.5 seconds to go. Plenty of time, but you got the gunners out there for Vernon. You got Fessel, you got Scotto. Gaskin can shoot 3s.
The difference now, Dan, is the ball is going to be at the opposite baseline. So they're going to have to cover, another 40, 45 feet to get a clean look at a 3. So let's see what they drew up a great play last time.
Yeah, they did.
Let's see what they got going. But, again, you got to get it with some momentum. You can't catch standing still because there's just not enough time. You got to catch with momentum coming up the floor, or you got to make some sort of screen where you can then pass it to someone wide open closer to half court, and then you still got time for 2 or 3 dribbles and a pull-up 3. So you have options, but the last thing you want to do is catch it, close to your own baseline without any momentum, because then you're pretty much dead in the water at that point.
Well, as you pointed out, the last opportunity Vernon had on the inbounds, they couldn't ask for a better shot or a play. Scotto's their man. So Vernon Mullally could shoot 3s. All 5 guys he's going to send out can hit it. So there's no one out there you're like, no.
Right.
They all can shoot it. But now if you're High Point, do you pressure the ball?
Yeah, I would a little bit. Absolutely, a little bit. Not with everybody, but I'd get somebody up there just so it's not a completely clean look. It's a great job. It's exactly what they're doing.
Fessel, they'll get it into him, and we'll see how they finish this 5 out. 5 seconds. Timeout called. They got it to half court. Only took off a second off. A minute. I keep saying a minute. 1.5 seconds.
Absolutely. Now let's see, you would imagine they're not going to draw up the exact same play now that High Point is ready for that, but some sort of variation of that. I would not be surprised. They got a clean look. Let's see if they happen to get another clean look and maybe knock this one down.
Folks, hope you're enjoying this game on the Cutting Edge Sports Network. We talked to Matt Gizzi, the owner, at halftime. You got to check out their website at cscnetwork.net. If you want more info on it, send an email to info@cscnetwork.net. And again, I want to thank Jeff Snowplowing. Do snow different. Free estimates 973-566-4006. So we'll have the girls' game right after this. We'll have probably about a 20-minute break because this game has gone kind of long. And we're hoping to have some post-game interviews. Okay, folks, here we go. 3.5 left on the clock. Vernon trails by 3. Mullally. And they're going to call a foul on High Point on the floor, but it doesn't matter because they only have 14 fouls.
Which, to be honest with you, some coaches take that approach anyway, so even if it was in the bonus, it's not a terrible idea.
Right. Jesse Stroh, I don't think, called that. He didn't
right.
ask
No,
for
no,
that.
He
He's asking the official.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't called. And now it changes everything because the ball's out of bounds.
Better inbound spot.
Yeah, underneath. Could be better, could be worse, because now they got to kind of go on the fly here. But clearly a set play.
Vernon stacked.
Watch sneaking behind. There it is.
This is Scotto. Chucks up the three. Front rims it, and the buzzer sounds. High Point escapes with a 39-36 win here in the first game of the Pretty in Pink Classic here at High Point High School. What a game today, Brian.
Fantastic game, and you know, if you're Vernon, you got a shot in the air to tie it to go to overtime. Good defensive possession by High Point. Well played game, exciting start to our afternoon, Dan.
It certainly is. Well, stay tuned, folks. We're going to have some post-game reaction from both head coaches and a couple of players, and we're hoping to have Hannah Doyle, who organized today's event for High Point. We're hoping to have her as well. So we'll step aside, folks. We'll be right back. And we're back here live at High Point, first game of the Pretty in Pink Classic, the boys game. And High Point with a big win, right down to the wire with head coach Jesse Strell. Jesse, what a game.
Yeah, very, very happy for the guys. We played Vernon a couple weeks ago in the Lakeland Christmas tournament, and they beat us pretty good by about 18, 20 points. So happy to see the guys progress and play well here at home today and get the win.
The guy you were missing, Max Miller, had a big game tonight, hitting threes at the end of the second quarter and third quarter.
Yeah, it was nice to have. It was tough playing without Max those couple games. So happy to have him back, and he's always willing to take those big shots, and today he made them.
Talk about this. It's a cliche, but it was true tonight. Team effort. Kubiak, who usually scores about 15, played within his game, didn't force anything, and everyone else stepped up.
Yeah, we were very balanced. Credit to Vernon. They play good man-to-man defense, very physical. But yeah, everybody contributed and chipped in, and nobody had a huge game, but everybody did what they could and stepped up. So,
just talk about this event. You've been part of this for a long time. They brought the boys into it a few years ago. Just talk about how special this is.
Yeah, it really is. It's a great day for High Point and our whole community. Credit to the Smith family that started this with Coach Dexter, and credit to Hannah Doyle and Brandon that didn't want to let it die out and wanted to keep doing it. And it's really the kids that put this on. And so, great day. It's an opportunity for us to give back to our community and do something nice for everybody.
Coach, congratulations. Go get him against Kittatinny. We got Mr. Kubiak coming up right now. Yeah, sure. Brandon Kubiak, good job. Brandon, big win. It's a pretty in pink game. Just talk about how special it is to play in this game and not only play, win.
It's actually really massive, especially for us in our season. Just to come out here for a good cause as well is really big. We actually lost to them, I think, about 3 weeks ago by over 20 points. And to come out today with our home fans, it was incredible.
Just talk about how you guys had to hold them off like twice at the end. They called the timeout. They got a couple good looks on the three, but you guys didn't fold.
Yeah, we need to hit our free throws. That almost cost us the game, but they actually got a good shot there. We're yelling in the huddle, we got to switch everything, and the last possession we were able to do that and stop them again.
Obviously, you've been the leading scorer this year, but today everyone stepped up. It was a real well-rounded effort. Talk about that, because you guys are going to need that from here on out. Can't just concentrate on you.
Yeah, a lot of big performances today, especially from Max Miller, Jaheim Dawson, Jacob off the bench. I didn't even do that much today. I didn't really have to. They kind of did it for us, and it was great.
Talk about how you build on this. You got Kittatinny. It's a non-division game, but when you play Kittatinny in any sport, it's always a big rivalry.
Yeah, there's a big rivalry between us, especially from a wrestling match the other night, and we're looking forward to that game. We're gonna have a big crowd here. So,
Brandon, great job tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we're hoping to get Chris Dexter over here. We can hold on 1 second. Can you, Matt Gizzy, my buddy, can you get Mr. Dexter over here for an interview? So we'll try to get him. And we'll have Mr. Dawson come in. Congratulations, nice job. Big win on Pretty in Pink. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a big win. Kubiak and us try to help the team and stuff like that, and we have a big win.
Just talk about you did a great job in the boards and defensively tonight. Talk about your role.
I did my best that I can, try to get rebounds and and ones and stuff like that. So yeah, so my team really helped me as a person. So thank you.
Talk about you guys lost him in the Christmas tournament, but you didn't have Max. Max came back tonight, and you guys had a great, well-rounded effort.
Thank you. Yeah, Max was out because he had COVID, and then he helped us a lot because he's our main point guard. And in the Christmas tournament, we didn't have a point guard, so he was all crazy and stuff. So yeah.
And just talk about playing in this game. It's such a great game. The fundraiser, it's a doubleheader. Everyone's out here for High Point. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I think for the girls that help do this and stuff. So.
All right, well, congratulations, great job. And if you could just tap Mr. Dexter, have him come on over, your AD. So we'll get Chris Dexter over here to talk about the game. And there's Mr. Dexter. He's been part of this since 2010 when he was the girls basketball coach. Taylor Smith started, one of his players. So we're going to have Mr. Dexter come on up. Here with Chris Dexter, the athletic director. There you go, bud. Chris, I can't believe it's the 12th Pretty in Pink. You were part of it as the head coach of the girls team back in 2010 when Taylor Smith got this going in the Smith family. Talk about this special day.
Yeah, I know we were talking before the game. I can't believe it's been 12 years either. It wasn't a hard sell 12 years ago when Tom Smith came up with the idea and Taylor, and it's certainly not hard to keep it going. So I'm really happy that our girls and guys worked really hard to put something on at a time like this, and I'm really happy with our superintendent and administration that supports having a lot of people in the gym during the times we're at right now. So it's nice to see all these kids here, and it's a great cause.
Just talk about what we should look for in the game. You guys do some special things. You throw the streamers at their first basket. There's giveaways, and the thing that gets me every year is the survivor circle.
Right, so obviously it's downsized a little bit because there was some uncertainty with having this event, especially with what we've seen recently. And so we'll do the streamer toss at the beginning, which is always kind of fun. We'll have the, like you said, the cancer survivor circle at halftime. and then we'll talk about a family that we'd like to give some money to sometime in the third quarter. So some of the stuff is gone, the shop for the cure and stuff, but it's more about that third quarter when we were able to talk to a family about trying to help them during a difficult time.
And it's near and dear to your heart. Thank God your mom was a cancer survivor. I know it means a lot to you.
It does. She just sent me a text message right now. She can't be here, but she said good luck and good job. So she'll be watching online.
And you guys have raised about $300,000, given out about $200,000. If people couldn't make it here today, how can they still contribute? They contact you?
So they can send a check to High Point to My Attention, 299 Pigeon Hill Road, if they want to donate some money. We'll take it and we'll make sure it gets in the right hands.
Chris, always a pleasure to see you. You're throwing a great show here tonight. If you could do us a favor, we're going to take a break, but if you can find Hannah Doyle, we'd love to talk to Hannah. All right, folks, we're going to step aside and we'll be back with Hannah Doyle. back here live at High Point. We're about ready to start the girls' game. Joining me is Hannah Doyle from High Point. Hannah, everyone said you did so much work to keep this going. Talk about this special day.
I really wanted to have my senior year end it with a bang. 4 years of this special crazy event. And a lot of my underclassmen girls wanted to keep the tradition going. We just really want to help the local families in need.
How important is this for you guys? It's such a High Point tradition, but it's a Sussex County tradition. It started back in 2010 with the Smith family, and your continuing tradition. How special is that for you?
It's so special because I came here when I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and helped out. And I really just wanted to have a full circle ending.
Talk about what you have to put in to get this off the ground. It looks great here. It looks easy, but there's a lot of hard work.
We took a few hours yesterday after practice and this morning to set up. All my girls and the boys team, we did donation forms. We went out and got donations. We got food supplies. And we just spent a lot of hours painting, and it all looks great, and I'm really proud of the team.
Just so you're going against someone, the head coach of Vernon, Coach DiPiano, played in the first game for Coach Dexter. How cool is that she's back here? And also another High Point graduate, Nicole Donnie, who's an assistant coach. So High Point and Vernon has a lot of ties.
It's awesome because when I first came here, I saw them, and now I'm in their place. So it's so special to just keep the tradition going.
And after last year, the game was kind of thrown together because we didn't know about COVID. So that's really great that this is like a full house, hopefully tonight. So if people want to contribute, how would they do that? They're not here tonight.
If they're not here tonight, they can contact me or Chris Dexter. We have donation forms, and we'll take their money because we have a bunch of local families that could use it.
Well, Hannah, great job. Best of luck in the game tonight. All right, folks, that's Hannah Doyle, the organizer of tonight's great game here at Pretty in Pink. We got about 11 minutes before the tip of the girls' game. We'll step aside. We'll be back with that opening tip. It's going to be a great game here at High Point.